me ask you a question soon. This joint is kind of leaning up. This echo cable.
Is it sitting on top of it?
No.
This is the last one? Yeah. Really? No, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's weighted, but it's. I'm good. I just moved it around. I just didn't want it to fall forward on me. You know what I mean? What you got in there? No, San Francisco. In the, oh, dude. Mic check, mic check.
You talking about the points with San Fran covering me and keeping up? Keeping up? Oh shit. Well, shit. I mean, I don't think it's about too much about keeping up. I think it's about
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check.
Good afternoon, live Sports Talk Radio, Sports Talk Live for the culture. How you doing, fellas?
Good, man. All good now. I guess. I don't know. We up and down.
Yeah, up and down.
Just trying to survive, brother. Just trying to survive.
Had some wings up there. You know how the wings hit you. Get you. That's what we do. Wings and things in sports talk.
Sure, listen, you sure we're gonna have a show after those wings? Must around and shut it down.
You fall back, you know, and that itis creep up on you.
Oof.
Yeah, we want to be too much. We don't have too many of them. Greg, how you doing, man?
Good, brother. I'm
Welcome
good,
back.
man.
I got Coach Greg on here for my pre-Super Bowl show. He'll give us some insights on the big game, and also as a youth coach, we could definitely give some insight on the topic we're going to start off with. What has been, you know, at the forefront of everyone in the sports world, not just the sports world, around the world, sports fan or not, is the tragic, untimely death of Kobe Bryant, who was killed along with 8 others in a helicopter crash this past Sunday morning en route to his Mamba Academy. His daughter was, his young daughter at 13 years old, Gianna, was on there as well. And a helicopter crash, taking 9 beautiful souls onward out of this world. We first heard about it. It was like a lot of talk about TMZ, what had happened, and not really confirmation till later because you really didn't want to believe it. Where were you guys when you first heard about Kobe? I know your no reaction was like, nah, but then once you found out the confirmation of this epic tragedy, where were you guys at? Because I think it's something you're always going to remember where you were.
Definitely. I was actually getting some chicken wings, and somehow, some way, I just looked at my phone, and I was on Facebook, and it popped up. You know, Kobe Bryant's dead. Whoa, wait a minute. This is not true. So I immediately got off of Facebook and Googled it, and nothing was there. It was a hoax and things of that nature. I was like, okay. Then I went back to Facebook because I saw it from a TMZ post. And then the TMZ post went up, and then it temporarily went down.
Yeah, their site was like crashed because everybody was hitting it.
Right. And then maybe a minute or 2 minutes later, it popped back up, and then you just started getting confirmation. Everybody on Facebook was like, "Oh no, this is true," and I'm sitting there and like, you know, like everybody else in utter disbelief. You know what happened? You know, and it's he's in a helicopter. Okay. So I'm thinking, the first thing I'm thinking pilot error or something of that magnitude. I'm not thinking fog or anything of that nature. You know, you go up in a helicopter, you know, things can happen. And then, you know, then it starts to become much more clear what evidently happened. The pilot, I guess he couldn't see because of the fog. And that just, you know, it hurts. Like, you know, I watched him as a kid. Chester and Lower Marion, I watched the game. Mm-hmm. There's a man amongst boys, and you know, you start having these flashbacks, and you know, you just sitting there, wow, you feel for the family, and then it comes out that he was clutching his daughter or holding on to her. So you know, just a real devastating situation.
And Duke,
I was in Walmart
because we were texting back and forth. We were in a group like I hit you. Everybody was like, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Right.
Then I was like, yeah. I have some credible sources that this is real now.
Right. I you know, as I'm in Walmart, you know, just doing my Sunday thing, and you know, like you said, you get a text, and the first thing you say is, man, who's playing around? You're not going to take that, you know, serious.
Yeah.
Because you're saying to yourself, hoax, whatever. And all of a sudden, you start getting texts from everywhere. So, you know, naturally, you'll just start Googling and looking things up. And I started making calls on the West Coast. And before you knew it, you know, it was confirmed. And it was just like, you know, you automatically go into, you know, this, it can't be real. You know, please let it not happen. And then you start finding out, the particulars of how it happened, and then to, open up the wound even further. His daughter was, on the helicopter also, and it's like I haven't had a chance to get deep into any articles, any television, any of that stuff, because I have a sports background like all of us, and he played for 20 years, so you do the math. You start calculating somebody that you fell in love with as an athlete, loved everything about him as far as competing. You appreciated it. You are connected to him. They start, things start happening in their lives, whether they get married, whether they start having kids, you keep up with them, so that's how you become a part of them. And it's still something that's on your mind every day, just because you just can't believe it, man. You can't, I cried in Walmart, man. I was sitting in there tearing right in Walmart. So, and as you go on and you start hearing stories, man, I'll mess around and shed a tear up here. It's just what it is, and it's just.
And I think the aspect of the tragedy, and you talk about it's beyond basketball, it's beyond the reaction around the world, especially in the LA community. But at our age, we view it from a different perspective. You view things as a different perspective. I'm, viewing this tragedy, I'm viewing it as, here we talk about Sports Talk Live for the culture. We talk about the culture of sports and the benefit it has through your life, being a part of a team, playing sports, coachable kids or employable adults. It's one of the general themes that we have. And you take a look at, it was just families doing what the sports culture do, carpooling, but taking a helicopter, kids to games on the weekend. And Coach Greg, you can speak to this about, that's the life, you're transporting kids that probably can't get a ride to games. You loaded up with shoulder pads and helmets in your truck, escorting kids. And that's just part of the climate and culture when you're involved in sports. And you look at it as being with your child, being with your father, being as a father's age. It's analogous when you look at these situations that are kind of like strict, but I look at it as you look like a movie like The Godfather. When you're young, you look at it from the perspective of Michael, growing up. But as you get older and become a father, you look at it from the perspective of the Don. What are your children going to be? What are you going to, what are they going to do? You want the best for them, and it's just a real sad tragedy that Kobe was we're a little bit older. We're Magic, Bird, Jordan. In our age group are the guys in the NBA, and then came Kobe. And for Kobe, with the influx of the internet, social media during his career, and playing in Los Angeles, has just been just that superstar for that generation. And you can see the impact that he had all over the world. This is not even, talking about basketball, just talking about the Mamba mentality. And from the outside, you didn't get it. I was a big Kobe guy. I mean, I'm a Sixers fan or whatever. And then when him and Shaq split up, I was more on the Shaq side, like, yo. You know what I mean? That was kind of crazy. I would love to know what that was about. But when you get in behind the scenes of it, and I think as you get older, you see people, they grow, they mature, they're able to become a father. With a situation in Colorado they moved away from, and his wife and him, reunited and had a happy father. And he was doing father things, and the irony of the whole helicopter thing was so he could do what he do and get back and still drive and pick up his kids.
He was a real dad. He was a real dad. He was all the way in,
And you wonder his commitment and focus, how he transitioned into out of basketball. And he really transitioned well. He was doing some writing. He actually won an Oscar for animated short. He was fully into coaching his daughter and women's basketball, promoting that up. And just a tragedy because it seemed like at 41, he had so much more to do post
Right.
his basketball life.
Yeah, and it's if you think about it, because you have, we had before we did the show, we had time to kind of like reflect and find out what is going on, but it made you focused on, like, okay, he had a 20-year NBA career, but the things that he was doing beyond like basketball it was like he was just getting started on the business side of things.
Yeah,
right. He wrote a book. He did the little documentary.
Yep.
He's Mamba Academy is alive and well.
Yep.
The daughter, if you had a chance to look at her play, is you want to put WNBA stamp all on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, that would probably become bigger because of him,
Right.
Like girls basketball, and being that he's so involved with his daughter and her making it, you talking about the WNBA and women not getting paid enough. Well, guess what? He was probably going to make that thing explode in terms of dollars and cents, for them to able to get more money. So he was the businessman that he was becoming was like, you talk about billionaire, like.
Yeah, and you talk about all the other stories that all the terminal kids he visited with no PR, like all those stories that came out about, we don't see everything that these people do. We get a glimpse of them and try to make a whole generalization about somebody. I mean, that's what we do. We talk, but people are a lot deeper than we know. It was like more of a loss of that so much potential.
Right.
And
untapped, because we saw the basketball player. We saw that.
And if he could take those same principles and that same worth ethic into his basketball games, out into the business, the entrepreneurial world, the social change world, he would have been a real strong beacon, in those endeavors and anything he wanted to do, because he had that mentality. And sometimes when you're young, you just say, I got this mentality, I want to do it. You don't know how to, smooth it out. It's not what you do, but how you do it, how you say it. And I think he had became more ingrained with that as he got older. And
right,
matured.
Absolutely.
Just not going to say, man, Shaq out of shape, get his fat butt in shape, whatever. He may pull to the side. Look, man, you really need to work on your cardio outside the lights. You know what I mean? Whatever. And and I think that's all of us. I mean, all of us. We're much different when we were 18 or 19 than we are now. I'm be 51 this year, so you want to grow. And he's like, I'm 10 years older than Kobe. So it's just a sad time and a loss.
Definitely a sad time. I mean, one of the biggest things I take out of it was his loyalty to the Laker. He just wanted to be a Laker. He didn't want to be anything else. And after he retired, everybody knows he still could have played. He could have hopped on somewhere and stole a championship here and there.
Vince Cartered it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the way out.
You know what I mean? But in his mind, he was a Laker, and that's all he wanted to do, and that's all he wanted to be. And I can respect that. Like, he wasn't chip chasing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys do it. And I remember one of the comments he said, he was like, if I can't average 20 points in the NBA, it's time for me to retire. I can still do it. Yeah. It's just his body, after the Achilles and everything.
Father Time.
Yeah. Well, Father Time's undefeated.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, one of the stories that I heard or read about was people think that Lord Marion was a great power.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. The first year, he was like 4-20 something. And he didn't quit. Didn't ask his dad to transfer to Roman Catholic or, whoever was the hottest team in the city of Philadelphia or even in the suburbs. He stuck it out. And in one year, he had a T-shirt that the whole team wore, and it said 27 on it. Nobody knew what the 27 was for. And the 27 represented the 27 points that they lost to Chester High by the year before they won the state title. And that's the part I take out of it. One of the things I take from that level of commitment to an organization or to a school, like, hey, I'm going to make this thing better. I'm going to be the best that I can be. I'm going to compete as hard as I can. And no, I don't want to go anywhere but where I'm at.
Right.
Because there's no guarantees that Lower Marion's going to win the championship.
And that game against Chester went to overtime.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it won a cakewalk.
Yeah.
And it's just his level of commitment to being the best that he could be. It's just unmatched.
Yeah. They you hear the stories. I have some friends that's on the West Coast. They tied in to pro basketball. You get the stories from them, and I know at one point in time, it was like everybody knows what he's doing. Like, you know how you can catch somebody in different areas. Oh, he's going to be down here. He'll go there. Well, the one spot that he was in the gym all the time, the time. And to my understanding, it was 2,000 shots a day. So at one point, I was like, wait a second. You shooting 2,000 shots? Who is this ball boy? Like, who's waiting under that net or doing whatever?
Right.
Because that's a lot of buckets that you putting up.
Definitely
man.
a lot.
And that's what you did, and that's what he was about, man. And it was for him. It was okay. I think after a while, it was all right. I'm this prolific scorer, and I'm good, but I want to stick the guy that's supposed to be good or as equal as me on the other end.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people
Two-way player.
You got to
he's
two-way.
definitely a two-way player.
And you say to yourself, okay, if this guy's in the same, bracket as me, it's okay. Well, let me separate myself from him, and that's what happens on the defensive end. Because we know there's plenty of guys that we came across that can average 30.
Yeah.
Right.
But how many of them will play that other end?
Right.
Not a lot. But that was his dedication to the sport. And LeBron's in that same breath.
Right.
Like, you never catch these guys out of shape.
Yep.
They always in shape all the time. They know that I think it's just bigger than basketball, but they're willing to sacrifice, their body, their families, because that's what it is. You to be great, you have to be away from your family. It's just no way to. But it just shows you the level of sacrifice, man. And he'll be missed, man. And it's not a today miss. It's not a next year. He'll be missed over the years because it's like it was so much that was left undone that nobody's gonna be able to do it like he was gonna be able to do it. You can have people that substitute this and they'll do this. He was on his way to be this conglomerate of a businessman, and we all see it tied in with Disney and this Mamba Academy, and the WNBA was coming. And I don't know if he wasn't too busy with that. I can almost foresee him getting into ownership in the NBA.
Yeah, he'd been a tough owner.
Yeah.
Well, by the way he played, he'd been a tough owner.
Yeah.
But you know what was weird?
Yeah.
What I think about the most that strikes me, like, if you come down to a few players in the NBA, who would you want to take the last shot? And to me, it's Kobe. You know why? Because he wants to take the shot. He doesn't shy away from that. Like, give me the ball, I'll make the shot. I'll put the team on my back.
And deal with the consequences afterwards.
Exactly. And it's not a lot of people.
And that's
out
what separates those guys from everybody.
Yeah, but when he was a rookie or young
Yeah,
player
rookie,
against Utah, he missed them 3 air balls.
Yeah, like 5 of them.
Came back the next year. It was like, look, I want to take the shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a certain mentality. It's just a certain desire. That's a certain level of commitment. Saying, hey, I can do it. And you see people, a la Ben Simmons, but shy away from those things. And
it's not for everybody.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
Listen, the thing that I admire that you brought that up about him is you have to deal with. If you don't make it, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with it. And guess what? Everybody's not ready to deal with that. You lost the game, because that's where it's going. You missed the shot. You lost the game. They're not viewing it as, okay, your team lost it. Oh, you shot it. You lost. And he was willing to take that. Like, I don't care. I'm going to win the next time. I'm going to win the next. And like you said, it's not a lot of. It's just not. That's not out here.
It's that alpha male. That's that dog mentality. Me against
I'm gonna
the world.
be great, and I'm gonna be the greatest. You know.
You gotta step up in those moments.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, it's just hard, man. It's just hard to process that this guy that's not around.
Yeah.
That's just it's just hard. And I've lost both of my parents. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched my mom take her last breath, so you can't tell me anything about death.
Right.
They unhooked the machines in front of me,
Right.
so I know the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're like, this guy's not around.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, I mean, it hurts, man. It really hurts.
And that's the thing. Like that, just like they said, the cemetery is full of so much potential, and that's what we're missing with Kobe Bryant. Lakers played last night, had a wonderful tribute to him versus Portland. They played the Trailblazers. So we'll move on. It's not easy. It's not like, the point in time where for most of us, his family and all the families that are involved with it, and all those families were just carpooling, coaching, involved in the sports culture, taking their children to play a game and be involved in sports, and that's the sad part. And it's done every weekend, all over the country, all over the world. No matter what sport. Let's load up the car. We got a game this Saturday.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
We got a game
And
this
we gotta
Sunday.
be there.
We gotta be there.
Yeah.
Rain, snow.
I've done it. I piled them in the truck.
Yeah.
Piled the equipment in, and you pop the GPS in, and what time we got to be there. You got to coordinate everything, and it's just a tragic situation, and these things happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just happens, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I mean,
absolutely nothing.
I could be driving, and it's the same thing happens.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to a game, just trying to coach a football game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
it.
know
Nothing
I know
more.
the feeling. I mean, because I've done it. I've
Yeah.
done it several times. It was pouring down rain. I had to go to Camden. Yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Got a truck full of kids. They're all wet. Nope. We're getting there. We got to play this game. That's it. And it was foggy. The fog's not that bad. You just start talking to yourself. We can get through it. We can overcome. It's no big
Wasn't
deal.
the first time.
Nope, we've done this before. And unfortunately, in this situation, it just didn't work out, man. It just didn't work out.
Sad state of
We
affairs.
got some shout outs soon.
Oh, shout him out.
Cousin Rocky Brick,
Okay,
Joy
guys.
Cartwright, Anthony Panda Jenkins.
Thank you.
Xavier Evans, what's up, Rod?
Hey,
The wife, Relena.
Relena. Hi, wifey.
David Harper.
Harper was in the building for a second.
Kimberly
Pre-show.
Johnson, Ira Madison, Jay Skinner, Mr. R. Wells, Greg Harris, Coach Roger Lasat,
Hey, Coach.
national champion, Cheney State.
Cheney, you got to keep him on.
Then he got another chip in my national championship, my junior college coach. So he
Let's
he has 2 rings.
Let's
man.
get Coach on.
One of them was undefeated. Yeah, get down here. 6'9". Come on, man, get down here.
Yeah.
Robert Lombardi, Denise Moody, West Virginia State University alum, Mr. Julian Dunkley, who put some time in at one of the camps actually with Kobe. We need to get you here too, brother.
Yeah.
You're another one that might hit your head on the ceiling, standing at 6'7".
Yeah.
Harvey Tinley, Humphrey Quao, Miss Shelley Blackstone, Christina Nelson, and Tina Cord. Ray Coles, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining, y'all.
Oh, definitely. The NBA, there's been some talk about changing this logo into Kobe. There's been a petition signed about that. But do you think this whole tragedy have an influence on the younger generation in the NBA now that looked up to Kobe, how they prepare, how they mentally focus, and not only that, but how they prepare for their life off the court, like moving forward. Hopefully, a lot of times, I had posted on Facebook, the lessons learned in death are the ones we should practice in life. And hopefully, from this tragedy, that we can come together more in life, like death brings us together, moving forward. So hopefully, the young guys can take heed, develop, give everything you got to your career, and then give everything that you have planning for when that career is over and moving forward, and with your family, and with your daughters moving forward. But definitely, like you said, we just want to send out the condolences and prayers to everybody involved in this tragedy and the families. Vanessa Bryant's Kobe's wife is setting up a fund for the other families that were lost in the tragedy, and our prayers and hopes just go out to them because this was really a sad thing. Definitely, unlike anything really in a prime, a great athlete. I mean, I'm a little young for Roberto Clemente, and nobody on like an athlete just finished his prime on his world stage like Kobe Bryant, arguably one of the best ever to play in the league. And basketball has that world flavor to it. Promote what you help promote, definitely. So, shouts out to everybody moving forward, definitely. But we have moving on, got a little football game this weekend. A little football game.
Little one, huh?
It's seldom when the Super Bowl is dwarfed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. It's seldom on a week when the Super Bowl is dwarfed. We have Super Bowl 54 coming up this weekend. We have the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. The Chiefs' first Super Bowl in 50 years. I was 6 months old, not even 6 months old the last time they were in a bowl.
I wasn't here.
Me either.
1970, you know what I mean? That January, Minnesota, they beat the Minnesota Vikings. Lynn Dawson was MVP. Hank Stram matriculating down the field, the NFL Films clip, that became, I guess, viral, as you say back then, with him, commenting on that. So we have 2 weeks. We have the build up and hype. So we just want to get your gut feelings on the game. It looks like it has the feel to be a good game. I mean, it has
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause it never turns out to be a good game.
Because this is like, I feel the two best teams, and this is how, I kind of got this feeling, because we went through an era where the NFC just dominated.
Right.
And then we went through eras where, you had super teams. But this gives me a feeling that I had back in the 70s when you had two really good teams, and like when the Steelers played the Cowboys. Like, you had, potential Hall of Famers on both sides, two teams that, have won. So you have a real good matchup. What's your guys' early?
I'm believe it or not, I'm still on the fence. Like,
yeah.
I haven't made a decision, and I know you can't be halfway pregnant in this game. I mean, I'm definitely on the fence. There's certain things that stick out to me, and it's basically San Francisco's D-line. If they can generate pressure with 4 to 5 people and kind of push Mahomes off his spot, which he really doesn't have a spot because he can throw the ball from anywhere. But if they can move him around a little bit, tap him up a little bit, then I think San Francisco wins. But conversely, if they can't get to this guy, maybe a track meet.
Yeah.
And that's just what I see. If I had to flip a coin, I'd say Kansas City. And that may be because of Andy Reid. I'm a sentimental favorite because I was an Andy Reid guy. Right. Time's yours, but but that's just the way I'm leaning. I would say Kansas City because I don't think the 49ers would be able to stop them. But I'm still, like I said, on the fence.
I got it's 3 guys that stand out. I believe Mahomes is the best guy under center. I'm looking for, like I told you guys before, when I look for weaknesses, I can't find them. And Mr. Kelsey, who's he's the best at what he does, and Tyreek Hill. You got 3 guys that are, and I think everybody that would agree they are difference makers.
Right.
The game is tight. You can look for Mahomes to make a play that you probably have never seen before. You could look for Kelsey to catch a ball that we can probably argue and say that we've never saw that. And we got the deep ball, which Mahomes' arm is strong enough to overthrow one of the fastest guys in the league.
Yeah, he can make the passes.
So I mean, what I'm looking for that weakness from the guy that's under center. And like I said, I can't find it. And now that takes nothing away what the 49ers do. I love their attitude. They'll strap them up, lunch pail type of team.
Right.
And they're not going anywhere, right? You're going to have to earn it because this is how they play.
Right.
But I have to lean with KC, just those three guys. Those three guys I think are difference makers. But again, it all starts with the meat and potatoes up front, whether you're in the offensive line or defensive line. If you can somehow, the Niners can somehow get Mahomes off that spot, if he has one or whatever, or make him uncomfortable, which everybody tries to do. Touch him up. That's the only way that I see the 49ers coming out of here. And they can do it. They built for it.
They are built for it.
They built for it. So
the problem is Kansas City can score. That's the problem. I mean, they're down 20-something points against Houston on the ropes. I mean,
if you coming up the middle and you coming on the side, which they can do with Bosa and Buckner, you got to worry about what's going on over there. And that can make all the difference.
It
right?
can, but what happens is when they start these back shoulder throws and they start throwing to a spot and they start throwing in windows, you can be as fast as you want to be. Yeah. You can stunt.
Well, that's what we gotta hope that doesn't work if you're the defensive guy.
You start stunting, they start dropping it off the backs, coming out the backfield. I mean, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah. So this matchup right here is huge.
Very
Yeah.
huge. There we go. We up front again.
Right. But I mean, if they got to bring the running back in to chip him, and they got to put the tight end over there that takes somebody out of a pattern. That's to me is the key. I mean, that's the key. I mean,
how fast can you adjust? And I think that's going to be the key too. The ability to make adjustments on the fly. I think usually, like I said before, when you look at the two coaches, that last year the moment seemed too big for Goff. Like, he looked like from the national anthem on, shook ones. You know what I mean?
No, that was the coach, man. Yeah. I believe that one was the coach. I mean, he came in, and most coaches are that way. Here's my philosophy. Here's what we're going to do. And he looked like he did not have a plan B. And that was the problem.
But here's my thing. Mahomes can be a plan B all to himself.
Yeah, but with Reed though, Reed ain't quick on his feet thinking like that.
But Mahomes,
he doesn't make a lot of good game.
I'm talking about the plays broken down. Mahomes like
right.
Oh yeah.
That saves the coach.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
the great athlete saves the coach.
I'm just saying,
sometimes.
if he's got to dial some stuff up, man, Andy Reid. Dial something up on the fly.
That's when you look
fly.
That's when you look under center, man.
He's got a playmaker, which he's never had before. McNabb, the playmaker,
and that's all the difference.
But that can be the difference. But I mean, if it comes down to coaching, I mean, obviously Andy Reid's been around for a while. I mean, his track record, he's won a lot of games except the big ones.
And the redemption for the Niners coach. From the Super Bowl, he had a 23-point lead. Well, usually the offensive coordinator can't get, but he was the offensive coordinator. He had a 25-point lead, and
one play.
That's what I don't like.
No.
Like that.
It was one play, and it was a pass instead of a run. Is the difference of why he's not hoisting the trophy. Let's be clear, people. If they run the ball in that situation against New England, that game is over.
They run the timeouts out.
They run it over. It's just that simple. They decided to throw. He got sacked or whatever. They knocked him out of field goal. That was it. The game was over. From that point on, a pass.
And he's been running ever since.
I would be too.
Well,
rule number one. Vince Lombardi, number one.
Since Garoppolo, who I want to get in a conversation with, through that interception against Minnesota, it's been 15 passes and 17 runs. 72 runs ratio moving forward. Do you think playing this Kansas City Chiefs team, they would have the ability to do that? It's seeming like the Chiefs can get a couple scores in bunches. They may need more out of Garoppolo's arm in this game. They may be.
They definitely
Are
need
you
more.
confident that Garoppolo is ready to step up and handle this pressure?
Well, if they think they're going to run on Kansas City, I mean, they stopped Derrick Henry, who was on a tear for the last 3-4.
They kind of run a little different. They kind of throw traps and motions. And
They, no,
Go ahead.
Henry is he's the one shot. Yeah, we can't take
Men amongst
absolutely,
men? Superman?
We can't take absolutely
Gigantor?
nothing away from him.
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk all day, right?
Yeah.
But we talk about being predictable. I mean, it got to get you. It got to get you one of these games, and it got them as far as Kansas City stopping them, right?
And Mr. Jones,
They
here
do
is
mix it up. San Fran mixes it up. They do mix it up. But however, if they find out that you cannot stop what they're doing, they will run down your throat. That's what I love, and that's what I love about them. So we talked about Tennessee couldn't, right? They couldn't. What else can they do?
Nothing.
Right? Exactly. So it makes you harder to stop. This is not that type of party right here.
Yeah, they're not a one-trick pony for sure.
They got some, they are a lace 'em up type of team, which they will try to run on you from first to 4 quarters. They're not abandoning any run. They're not just going to go throw 40 times. They're going to balance it out, which makes it harder to defend. On that note, so listen, we got a great game. I think is coming, and you got defense versus offense. At the end of the day, you have one offense that's prolific, and they have the best wideout, the best tight end, and the best quarterback on one side.
If you're looking at the KC defense, I threw up the key 4-3-D. I think they're going to need a big game out of their linebackers.
Absolutely.
I think their weak side linebacker Anthony Hitchens, who used to play for Dallas, is a free agent acquisition for them. On the weak side, I think he's going to have a game.
Oh yeah.
And definitely, that their interior lineman, Chris Jones, we told the picture before,
which they're balling.
Yeah,
they're balling now.
They are.
And I think that San Francisco center is young. They had an injury there. So there's some positions that can be, I think, exploited maybe as we go, because usually we get into these games and it's interesting because it's all, KC's offense versus San Fran's defense, and the respective other side of the balls on each team feel like, oh, wait a minute, they talking about San Fran's defense?
Right.
Well, wait a minute, we got some ballers over here too. Oh, they just talking about the Chiefs offense? Well, we got some offense and playmakers too. So it'll be interesting. So I've always liked those other teams because that is definitely the headline. The headline is definitely KC's offense versus San Fran's defense, and how's that going to play out?
I love it.
Yeah, that's going to be critical. And the other thing that's interesting is San Francisco is not a blitz heavy team. They're back there playing coverage.
Yeah.
Which is scary to me.
Very well. You can go back. We can go back to the college game. You can play coverage all you want and see what happens when you play coverage. If you have to generate pressure, period. That's the name of the game. If you're not generating pressure, these guys are so talented. They'll pick you apart. So they may have to abandon their philosophy of we'll just send 4. Maybe you send 5.
Well, they did blitz the Packers, Aaron Rodgers. I remember the first game when they smoked them on that Sunday night game or Monday night game.
Right. But that's not their MO, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's not their method operandi.
Well, guess what? Guess what happens in games like this? Guess what happens in games like this? Sometimes MOs go out the door.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I think the great ones you gotta shake up your MO.
Right. Yeah, you do. But the thing is that if you think that you're gonna come in here and just do what you have been doing for these last playoff games, it's not gonna. You're gonna have to switch something up.
I like Kyle Shanahan.
It's gonna be a chess match
because he's his father won 2 Super Bowls,
right?
And I remember one of the great moments in the Super Bowl when he's playing for he's coaching Denver and he's calling the plays, and they're down by the goal line with Green Bay and it's 3rd down. And remember Terrell Davis used to have them problems with the migraines. So he's having a mild migraine flare. And Terrell Davis is coming off the field. And have everybody mic'd up. They was like, Terrell, I know you flaring up, but they're not going to believe we're going to not run this ball if you're not in the game. We're going to pass it. But I at least need you in there for this play fake. Because as soon as they see you not on the field, they're definitely going to go in the pass.
Right.
Just to have him out on your feet, like on your feet.
Which helps helps the offense, undoubtedly all the time.
Yeah.
You don't know, but this person's on the field that can catch. You have to respect him as a person that's catching.
Mm-hmm.
He might not catch the ball that play.
Yeah.
Or he might not have caught it last game. But because he's out there, you got to pay attention.
Well, that backfires. You go right back to Pete Carroll. he had beast mode on the field, and he throws a slant that is intercepted by the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his what he said was New England came in with their heavy package and expected him to,
See, that's
run
what
the
happens.
ball.
But
So now you can overthink it.
right. So
You
that's
know
what
what I mean?
happens when you think that you might be smarter than everybody else. Oh, they coming heavy.
Right.
Let me go do this. No, how about they coming heavy and I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Stop it. Just stop
Right.
it.
Right.
Then you go to your.
Yeah.
But who are we, right?
Yeah, no, it ain't.
But-
I'm
but-
just a little league
but-
guy,
but-
man. I don't know that much.
But even if I was going to throw it, it would have been in beast mode's stomach first and pulled out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, wouldn't just drop back and throw a quick
I
slant.
tell you what. I listened to his post game speech. You can YouTube it, and he
Carroll.
Yes, and he made perfect sense. Now to the people who don't play it or coach it, well, you should just gave it to beast mode and been done with it. When he explained it, he explained himself very well. I disagree with him.
No,
I disagree with him.
Yeah.
But he was like, listen, if we run the ball and get stopped, we have to call timeout. This is our last timeout. And then the next two plays will definitely be throws. And predictability in the NFL is the worst thing you can do, is be predictable. So by throwing it on first down, and it wasn't a bad play call. The problem was the ball was supposed to be like a knuckleball into the ground. The ball was high. He throws the ball into the dirt where only his man can catch it.
Well,
He threw it to like the fifth.
He threw it too high.
Well,
The ball has to go on the
Well,
the ball has to go on the ground.
I don't. Go,
Let me
go
tell
ahead,
you.
Soon.
Let me tell you this. This
And
is where
I'm piggybacking soon.
This is where I
Hey,
was
man,
raised. This is
listen.
where if I'm on the half-yard line
There we go.
and I
We're
got
winning.
and I got Earl Campbell.
There we go.
And Earl Campbell's been the MVP of the game.
There
Earl
we
Campbell,
go.
Earl Campbell has dominated this football game.
There we go.
He caught the pass to get us down there to set up the unbelievable pass.
Right.
And the previous play, Earl Campbell went from the 6-yard line to, we may need to look at it. Did he get in or not? Guess who's getting the ball the second time?
Oh,
Earl
damn.
Or if you do want to pass with your passing thing, guess who's going to be running full speed into the line of scrimmage and the ball's going to be put in his stomach and taken out, and my tight end is going to be in the back of the end zone like, yo, I'm here.
all day long.
If you want to pass it there, I got no reason to pass it there. But on a half-yard line, the MVP of the game is going to touch the ball, whether as a decoy or he's going to get it. I would have just given it to him because I'm old school like that. Like,
Right.
look,
I got a
if-
problem.
with
I
that?
got a problem with
If I
you.
can't get a half a yard, I don't deserve to lift the
right,
bar.
right. So I got a problem with you throwing the ball at like the half-yard line.
Wait
Who
a
makes
minute, wait.
half-yard
Wait,
line
wait,
passes?
wait a
Who-
minute, wait
who
a minute.
At the goal? Was
Wait.
it the 2-yard line
Wait a
or where was it?
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Where was it? 2-yard line
Man,
or
it was
where?
close.
It was closer than that.
All right.
Done.
So 2 yards. So here's the thing.
He in
Some-
shotgun too, by the
So
way.
yeah. So now you
He went 5 yards back.
You definitely out of the because now you're in shotgun. So how about you can stay up there? And what happened to the option if you wanted to do something with a little bit of pizzazz other than handing it off?
Yeah.
Probably
What's
don't
wrong?
practice
What's wrong with that?
in the NFL?
Russ had to practice the option because he's a runner.
Listen, I was
It's
just
a simple, handoff.
Right,
It's
right.
either you hand it off to beast mode or you fake it to beast mode and throw it.
well. I mean, and Sunni, you can appreciate this. Years ago, Emmitt Smith was still playing, and the Cowboys were playing the Eagles, and it was 4th and 1. Matter of fact, it was 3rd and 1. They handed the ball to Emmitt Smith twice. He couldn't get a yard. He couldn't get it.
And they lost the game and deserved it.
And well, that's the flip side to it. Oh, well, they deserve to lose. Yeah, you could say that. But they handed it
Might as
off
well
to
punt
him
it that
twice.
So
I'm just saying.
no. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Was handing the ball off to him. When you look at percentages, would you think it was the right thing to do? Because it's a way to lose sometimes.
No.
Do you lose? I think if you hand it to beast mode and you don't get it, even if you do it twice,
You okay with that?
you okay? Because that's the right thing to do.
Well, I'll tell you this.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell
that's
you
the
this.
right thing to do. So now you got to live with. I should have gave it to beast mode
That's true.
because that's
But-
what you should have did.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I had a friend in the NFL, D lineman at that, and he said the hardest thing to get is 1 yard. when everybody knows you're running.
I'm not disagreeing with none of that.
And no, he said it. Hollis Thomas, D lineman for the Eagles. When everybody knows that you're running, and people gonna sell out. People diving over the pile. A la Jadeveon Clowney in the Clemson, whatever game they was playing, he jumped over, hit the dude in the backfield because everybody knew you was running. You can't be predictable. You can't be.
I agree with that, but guess who I got back there?
Yo, they had Emmitt Smith.
No, who you want? Now
1
we're talking
yard?
about 1 yard with Beast Mode and Emmett. It's slightly. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm Skittles.
But the whole thing about it, you have to look at the game you're playing. I don't go into history. I look at what's in front of my eyes. In front of my eyes, Beast Mode was MVP. All their big plays came thrown at the Beast Mode or Beast Mode running. And Beast Mode just took the ball from the 5-yard line or 6-yard line, almost scored down to the 1-inch line.
Almost only counting horseshoes and dart throwing.
So any offensive play from that point on would involve Mr. Beast Mode. If you want to, if Greg, if you'd have been out of the head coach and you'd have been the OC and said, I want to pass it here and this is the reason why, I would have said, yeah, give me a play action pass. And I'm just said, no, we're going to run it. All day. I'm just a kid from, just run the ball. Because I seen him just take the whole Patriots defense 6 yards. Like he took
right.
It was like, yo, let's lather it up. Let's do it again.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, he should have ran the ball, but
Yeah.
I understand why he did what he did.
Yeah,
maybe he was just thinking too much, overthinking.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Overthinking.
He did overthink that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he hands off the Beast Mode. Next thing you know, he gets piled on 4 yards in the backfield, and then we call timeout. Then what's the excuse going to be then?
We got stopped.
We did the right thing.
We did the right thing. They beat us. The best. We got to do what we do best.
There we go.
The Packers, they ran the sweep. They knew it was coming. The two guards was going to pull the Lombardi sweep. Seal here, run it in the alley. Like it wasn't like they made that up every week.
It's a reason why New England beefed up the front.
Yeah,
they knew it was coming, and then you didn't do it.
Which is even better.
And I don't care that you brought your beef in because I got something back there.
I don't care about beef.
Yeah,
well, you should. You have to.
No, not with beast mode.
Scared money don't make money.
That's true.
Not with beast mode.
Study long, study wrong. I mean.
Now, if I got another back there that is not known for, he's not a bruiser or anything.
Okay, so let's go to football 101. So we're all well versed in it. Let's go to football 101. So what's the first thing that you don't do on the goal line? You don't run any sweeps. The sweeps are not getting in. That's the least likely
you don't want to
thing
go
you're
backwards
see.
because you're starting backwards.
You're not going to go anything towards the boundary. So everything most likely will be up the middle. Now, if it's not up the middle, it's a fake up the middle, and then next thing you know, the tight end is in the backfield. That's what I'm saying. So
you can go off tackle. You can go off tackle.
I mean, even off
that's
tackle.
That's where the beef is. You
but
got the nose guard.
You think about it. Somebody shoots in, right? And that off tackle play looks real bad because now most kids are trying to bounce it. Nobody wants to go up the gut.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm just saying, when
I'll take my chances with somebody jumping over and beast mode being there with him. Yeah. I'll take my chances.
I get it.
Head on, everything.
I'm just saying that
beast mode scored. Well, why did he give it to beast mode in Green Bay?
Yeah,
he gave it.
I mean, listen. I'm not. Listen,
this is beast mode to show him. So
listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah. What I'm saying to you is,
cool.
I understand why he did what he did. He was thinking down the road.
He was overthinking.
Hindsight is 20/20 though. It's always 20/20. Well, you should have.
I know when you throw the ball, you can either get it tipped, which will cause a hole, or it can drop. Anything can happen with that.
I'll tell you this.
I don't want that.
Well, I'll tell you this to a man, and I still think it was a penalty because you cannot run through the receiver to get the ball. And I'm not a New England fan. I'm not a Seattle fan. I'm an Eagles fan. You cannot run through a person to get to the ball. You can't do it.
No.
But they're not going to make that call.
Who did that?
The kid from New England ran right through him. What tape
No. He beat him to the spot.
No.
He
You
beat
can't
him to the
beat him to
spot.
the spot.
Why didn't he? He saw it coming.
No. That kid
and jumped on it. Remember, you got 5 yards. You can almost do what you want.
But you can't run through. If I put my arm around your back.
Who did that?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When
he saw that coming and jumped on it.
I believe he saw it coming, but he ran through him. You can't run.
I wanted to go get it before you did because if I let you get it, you score.
And you wasn't man enough to stop him.
It ain't nothing to do with man enough. I ain't going to say he didn't have the intestinal fortitude.
That's what happened.
Yeah. What I'm going to say to you is this.
He made a business decision.
I ain't say he made a business decision. I don't think he's seen it coming. But if you look at his body, he's going the other direction. You can't run through me to get to the ball? You can't do it.
We'll do
Well, I'll take my chances because if I let you catch it, we lose.
I understand. I will take my chances.
Yeah, because if I let you catch it, I'll let you catch it,
it's a
we
done
lose.
deal. But I'm gonna tell you right now. Look at what they call pass interference on now.
Oh,
I mean, if I touch you, if I grab your arm, I pull your arm down, it's pass interference.
Well,
if I got my arm around your back and swipe the ball down, that's pass interference. He ran through a man.
But you probably can get away with more down there that tight. You probably can. And it was he wasn't wide. He wasn't wide.
No, it was a slam. It was a quick
right,
slam.
And then it's 2 yards.
It is, but even if he knew the play, right?
He jumped that route.
Nobody can react that fast. No one's reaction skills.
So I knew where it was going.
Okay, so if you knew where it was going, how come you wasn't in front of him? Because if you would have jumped the route, he'd have just faked it.
That's how he called it. He jumped it.
No, he didn't jump it. He ran into him.
Quick. We'll debate great Super Bowl.
Fundamental
We'll do a whole show on the greatest calls that didn't happen. The Tyreek Hill. How do you feel about how Tyreek Hill will be used in this game? How they will? I see Tyreek Hill in the slot a lot. What do you think Andy's going to do with him? I think he's the game changer. He's the one they fear. They're trying to bracket.
Yeah, well, you can't bracket. You put him in a slot, you can bracket him. But you can't double cover him, and you can't play man on him. So his best opportunity to make plays is in the slot because you're gonna get that off coverage. Yeah. And he just eats off coverage alive. I mean, you can dedicate 2 people to him, and if you do that, then you got the tight end streaking around somewhere, running a drag or the sail route. He's just doing something to get open.
But
it
seems like me, if you I want you guys, Kansas City really third down drops looks like what have stopped them so far in this playoffs. It hasn't been like anybody's really locked them down. Even when they got down 24-0, it was a block punt, and they had Mahomes hit people on third down in the hands that were like running free to maintain. It seems the only thing that's really slowed this Kansas City Chiefs offense down in their first 2 playoff games, maybe a little rush and third down drops. If Tyreek Hill is the type of player you can get to, like smoke screens, different things like that, get the ball to him quickly, negate that rush and get first downs, I think he has the potential, even though with the politics behind it, maybe to be the MVP of this game.
I look at it like this. If you just line him up in the slot, then you doing the whole team a disservice.
Yeah.
It's about trickery, A guy like him, you do everything you need to do. You left, right, slot, wide, you do everything just because it's all about confusion for the other side.
Right.
So the thing that I think that we need to pay attention to is somehow all the time in these big games, it's always another receiver that doesn't get as much as attention as the other guys who always comes up because the focus is on the guys that they think they need to stop in order to win.
Right.
So who are their receivers that don't get much notoriety? That's the guys that I think that we need. Is Watkins on Kansas City?
Yeah.
So what do now he comes to mind.
Well, when you think about it, you made
here's their offense right there. You guys can take a look.
You think about it, you made an interesting point. You know what I mean? If I want to get down and dirty, I'm just put him in a slot and let him do what he has to do. But if you put him on the outside, you send him down the field, 2 people are going with him.
Right.
So now that just opens up a whole lot of
you got all
things.
the unders, and
you're gonna get all kind of routes underneath that, and you're gonna get all kind of complementary routes that you can hit based off of his presence and where he lines up at. So you're right, not to use him in one spot in particular. You definitely want to move him around.
Watkins could be a factor in this game, I think.
He can be.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I mean,
you can't account for everybody, and
no,
there's too much speed out there and athleticism.
No, you can't. And you can drop people in the coverage all you want to. I mean, that's why they call them windows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this kid's he's throwing the ball in the window, and he's just not going to stop that unless the defensive line shows up and they're getting pressure with 4, maybe 5 people. Then they have a shot.
And he's been really well as they rank quarterbacks that have to get the ball out in 2.5 seconds.
Oh,
right.
goodness.
And that's what we're banking on.
And
right.
he's been very well at that. I mean,
and you know the other thing that's scary? This guy can beat you with his legs.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if they're sitting back playing man, right, and everybody's running with people, and this guy takes off, you got a whole other set of problems that you have to deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they accounting for him? Are they going to put a spy on Mahomes just in case he decides to leave? Because if you put a spy on him, that's one less person in coverage.
Yeah.
So you have to. They better have a heck of a game plan.
They better.
And they better have a plan.
Well, sometimes
B and a
it
plan
comes
C.
up. I wonder how strongly they feel about their coverage, even with with Kansas City, basically. And I think if we came into this game generalization, if we're looking at the Kansas City perspective, we look at the Kansas City offensive game planning. You come in and say, hey, they're going to try to get us with 4 and play coverage and back, take the big play away from us, and make us as tramp to matriculate the ball down the field.
Yeah.
But with that expectation of Kansas City preparing like that, do you send some early fire at them? Do you send 6'5" guys?
Oh,
at
you
Mahomes
gotta you
early,
have to mix it up. You got to. You
Early,
can't. I
like
can't
you
let
say.
you cannot
To have
let
that in
him
his
get comfortable. He
have that in
can't.
his mental mind space. This is not going to be a 4-man rush game. This is going to be. They're still bringing heat. They're bringing 5.
Right.
They're bringing 6 guys.
Well, you are going to get what you're going to
take those
get that
chances
we can agree on.
But if
Bosa and Buckner, they coming.
But if they come, think about it. Think about what you're playing yourself into. And Andy Reid's a big screener. And you don't see Kansas City screening a lot, but they do screen.
Right.
So when you start bringing 6, we just gonna screen the hell out of you. That's all. So there's an answer for everything. The question is, how well are these guys coached up? Because if you start bringing 6, I'm gonna just dump the ball off. I'm gonna screen the crap.
Hey man, it sounds like we can agree that it's going to be a high level chess game.
It's going to be. It's
So
always.
that's what it sounds like it's going to be, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it firsthand. We got some shout outs.
Shout them out.
Cousin Clab, what's happening? Rhonda Evans.
Thank you for joining us.
Mark Phillips, athletic director, Camden High, man. We need you over here. Should I say more? Doing a wonderful job over there, buddy.
Definitely.
Cousin Roslyn, what's happening? Long time. Denny Thomas, how are you? Bruce Coles, Wyan Art, Lit Cigar Lounge. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining.
What's up, bro?
Smith Carroll, Jason Bavera, Haddon Heights alum. Kim Mosley, what's up, cousin Kim? Cicely Turpin, how are you? Rob Atteen joined, man. We got a big soccer show headed on in February. Might need you, man. All right. Talk soon.
Yeah. Glenn says, do you think...
Thanks for joining.
My man, Glenn, thanks for checking in. Glenn Collins, he said, do you think Jimmy G will throw more than 8 passes? I think he will. I think
you have to.
I think he's
going
to
to throw
to.
more throws.
I mean, if that's a play, man, if that's a line, a bet somewhere out there, he's gonna definitely throw the ball more than 8 times. You take that one.
Oh, you said more than 8 times?
Yeah. Oh, they're not gonna.
Can I get in on that one?
Yeah, please. I'm taking the over.
You talk what? Two passes a quarter?
Yeah, he's gonna have to. They're not gonna be able to.
Nah.
I don't think they're gonna be able to just line up and run the ball.
I do think they are going to. I think they're going to be able to do it because they dedicated to both. They're not giving up. If they say they don't run or get any yards in the first quarter, I don't think that dictates what they're going to do in the second quarter. I think that they just committed to.
Interesting enough, but with the move, and here's like the psychology of it. And like what if it works, you keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy G gets a early turnover in this game, the track record has let's fall back, pound, let's ground and pound. We're going, and that's necessarily not getting you the yards that you want. Do you think they're going to fall back and they have the confidence in Jimmy G to put this team kind of on his shoulders for a couple series just to get evened out, to get that balance?
We can't forget. This is what we can't forget. He was the predecessor of Tom Brady, right? He was right there. Belichick was so confident that he was the guy that they were willing to trade Brady away, about 3 years ago?
But it didn't.
So, yeah, but that's happened. That didn't happen because of Belichick. It happened because some other stuff. It was business. It was business. Hold on.
He's the predecessor, right? Go ahead. I don't
So
the heir apparent.
Right. He was the heir apparent
Two
to
Super
Brady.
Bowls later, but go ahead.
He was the heir apparent. So that tells you something. If you want to get rid of a guy for this guy, somebody knew something about him. You just don't say to your starter who is capable of winning these Super Bowls and stuff that I'm gonna just let him go. It has to be something that you feel comfortable with letting him go. Is what I'm saying. Is where I'm going. So now you're in a different situation. We've seen nothing but success on that side. Is the philosophy of the team a little bit different? Yeah, because they're a well-balanced team. Whether or not he's able to get behind, which Kansas City can put you in a hole.
True.
Can he just say, abandon the run and let me get these points real quick? I don't think anybody knows that about him yet because we never saw it. Right?
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
But to some of the guys throughout the NFL, we haven't seen what they could do either.
That's true.
But it's a reason why somebody decided to give them big money. You just don't give people $100 million and $130 million, and they're on the field starting. You get starting quarterbacks.
Foles got
So-
$80 million. But
What he do? What he
nothing,
do?
and he still got $80 million in the bank.
He's the reason why you happy. So he did something.
Oh, what? I mean, Carson Wentz
What?
got us there.
Stop.
Put us in the driver's seat.
Nah. He
No,
could.
I get Nick brought it home.
Oh, all right. That's
right.
it. So that's it. That's all.
But,
That's all.
I mean, that magical season doesn't happen if Carson Wentz doesn't do what he did.
Well, listen. If Foles does not come in, then you don't know what a Super Bowl feels like.
Nah, but he was playing at the MVP level, man. He was playing at the MVP level when he blew out his knee.
Look, my point is, what this guy is,
You don't know about this guy, man. He's a backup. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's an
Brady
above-
used to be a backup too.
Yeah, Drew Brees.
Bledsoe.
Went down.
Yeah, his
Okay.
opportunity presented himself. But what I'm saying is, does Belichick just say, okay, Tom, you got to go with anybody else? Is something there?
Father Time is still undefeated.
No.
Last time I checked.
3 years ago,
But
they were
3
ready.
years- okay.
Tom was on top.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, it's time.
Well, Belichick's going to get rid of you a year too soon.
Yeah, he was
A
like,
year
it's
later.
time.
But think about
And
it.
I'm not going to do that if I don't have someone that
Yes,
I believe
I get-
that is capable.
I get that.
They did that. Is
They
what
got
I'm saying.
rid of him, right? Traded him away. See ya.
Mm-hmm.
And won 2 Super Bowls.
But they could have did the same thing with this
But
guy.
they
It's
did it
what
with the guy.
Belichick's saying.
But
That's what he's saying.
But they did it already. So what did they probably lost a good backup. Well, that's potentially the next starter down the road.
The heir apparent.
Right.
The heir apparent, but I got 2 Super Bowls. I'm okay with losing.
No,
losing the heir
you okay
apparent.
now. You okay now.
What about next year? Who's starting quarterback in New
I
England
don't
next
know,
year?
Sure, not Garoppolo.
But I got 6 rings or something to talk about, so I can't worry about that. I'll go find somebody else. I mean, where this guy
You can't just do that with quarterbacks.
Yeah, you do. We don't know where these quarterbacks are coming
No.
from.
You can't say. If that's the case,
I think
everybody
they
has.
put- I think they
Everybody
put
on
their time
all
to grooming.
32 teams has a chance to win a Super Bowl. If you could just plug somebody in, we know
I
that's
think
not.
they took the time to groom Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
He was in the system. They saw him. They saw the potential, and that's why San Francisco went for him. They said, "Look, we're gonna." He was groomed here in New England. Bill really likes him. We're willing to give the number 1 picks to get that quarterback position. We're building a team around defense and running anyway. What you do with a young quarterback, the ground game and defense, and then he develops into a person you can win because of, not because with. And there's a difference. There's only a few quarterbacks you're going to win because
Big difference. Big difference.
And the rest of the quarterbacks you're going to win with. And
Is it fool's gold though? I mean, all right. You know,
Looks good right now.
It looks
that's
good.
what I'm saying. The
It
question
looks
is,
good.
here's the test. If their running game is short and KC is doing something offensively, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, you got to 17-6, you get the ball back. Hey, look, we just can't grind this thing out now. We still can try, but the ground game's not producing points.
But
Can
look what you
Jimmy
just
G
said.
step up and make the throws in the Super Bowl?
But look what you just said. Well, we're going to run the ball first. Well, wait a minute. You got Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well,
But that's philosophy. You can run without.
I mean, personally,
We not going to just abandon.
No, but
That's the
I
type
mean,
of team they put
he
together.
He throws an interception, and all of a sudden he's handing it off the next 20 times.
I don't know if it. I don't know if
Maybe
they. I don't
10?
know if they. I don't know
But
if
I'm
they do
just
it
saying,
20.
like, so
They did a lot because
they did a
after
lot. They took the game out of his hands.
After the interception against Minnesota, it's been 72 runs and 15 passes.
Right. So what is that telling you? Like
The run game is working really well.
That's what it. That's what
Okay,
it tells me.
so wait a minute. So I have a above average quarterback. I didn't say he's average quarterback. He's above average, right? He makes one mistake, right?
I don't know what's bad.
We ain't throwing the ball no more. He threw an interception. It happens. It happens. What happened? They're not.
But they
gunslingers?
killed the Packers though.
So
Yeah, but come on.
so if he throws an interception, just correct
I
me
don't
if I'm
know.
wrong. No, I'm just saying
Okay.
if he throws, because we're going to they ran the ball the next 20 times. So say I throw an interception.
Right.
And we get back on offense. I hand the ball off. I get 10 yards. I hand the ball off again. I get 7. I hand the ball off again. I get another 10. That could be the reason why I didn't throw again.
Okay, but so let's say you throw an interception.
Because remember, we talking about if you can't stop it. Then.
Oh, absolutely. But here's the flip side to that. Throws an interception. All right, we're gonna run the ball. So you hand the ball off, you get 2 yards.
Okay.
You hand the ball off, you get -1 yard. Now it's 3rd and whatever.
Now it's time.
Okay, so we now what do?
You gotta throw. You gotta throw.
You gotta throw. So I mean, where's the?
And I think you want to throw. Sometimes you want to throw early downs too. It'd be interesting.
Yeah,
to
you
see.
gotta mix it up.
But where's the confidence at? I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, you just can't make a mistake and then just he made a mistake. Let's just run.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
Can't do that.
It depends on the team that you're playing against. Because he did put up numbers in New Orleans in that shootout, which was like, what, 46-45?
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah, 46-45 where they had to throw. So he has shown it, and that's in New Orleans. And, it's on the road, noise, everything like that, tough place to play. And he handled himself there. But this is the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? The stakes are high. The stakes are high, as the rap song went back in the day. The stakes are high. And when you're going to be in the Super Bowl, I'm wondering about that pressure, wondering about in light of what has happened in the last few weeks. Because it wasn't, the last few weeks has been all about the 49ers run game. And it's been like we've dominated with it. And look, I agree with it. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it.
At all.
And, you put in your... And the psychological damage it does when you run the ball on somebody for a touchdown, that's not only you're winning, but you're demoralizing.
Oh yeah,
yes, it is.
And you don't want listen. In our experience, when you do that to a team, they start looking around at each other like.
People start grabbing hammies.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Look, I don't know what to do.
I think Sunni, you told me this. We gonna win with what, character and cruelty? Is that what
that's what we
yeah.
I remember you told
all
me
day.
That. And that's what it is, man. Somebody turns around and just keep continually running the ball down your throat, and you're looking around like you're sending 6 people, and 6 turns to 8, then 8 turns to 10, and they're still getting 3-4 yards a pop. Demoralizing is not the word. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, like, and cats is like, we really gotta be out here. Like,
Yeah.
You would be rather throwing on all day. Oh, they just hit us with another 60-yard bomb. Oh, they just got another 20-yard pass.
Yeah, this man, this is mano y mano, man. We just gonna knock you off the ball. We don't care what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care what you do. We're just gonna knock you off the ball.
Yeah.
My men up front are better than
Listen,
you.
you gotta find out early. That's what I say.
Yeah.
What kind of game is going to be?
And that's the interesting part. I think that's the intriguing part because there's so many subplots. I mean, the Chiefs, I believe the Niners are the better football team on the 53-man roster. I believe the Chiefs have the better offensive skills and more explosive players, quarterback, and ability to do chunk plays. I think the Chiefs are more equipped to get down, as we've seen, and come back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
No lead is safe. No lead is safe.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I don't know about the 49ers they get in a hole.
That run, you ain't gonna be able to run you down 14.
Yeah,
17
nah,
points, man.
not with them because they're not gonna
over.
stop. They're not gonna stop what they're doing. So,
right. So I mean, that's the thing, and that's the thing. If the Chiefs jump out on them, do they have the intestinal fortitude, i.e., the 49ers, to keep their wits about them
and do what we gonna do?
Because I'm telling you, 17 points, man. You ain't running the ball no more.
You think this? Do you think this game leads to more a high scoring game? Do you think it's going to be more points?
I think it's in the middle somewhere.
I'm taking the over.
You taking over?
I'm taking the over all
I think it's in the middle somewhere. I think is you won't find your low and you won't find your high. I'm looking at 27-23, somewhere around there.
The over favors the Chiefs?
The over definitely favors the Chiefs. Because that means they're having a tremendous day. Offensively. Having a tremendous day. You know what I mean? If that game is in the 40s, the Chiefs ain't winning that game. They ain't winning that game if it's close. If it's close and it's under 40, they ain't winning that. Nope. No. But if you're talking 51, 52 points combined, yeah, I'm looking at the Chiefs. If San Francisco could figure out a way to, I ain't gonna say shut them down because I don't think that's possible. I think they have way too much talent. But if they figure out a way to slow them down, i.e., limit the touchdowns to field goals, and get into that kind of game, then the Chiefs are in trouble.
No rain in the 60s come kickoff. Low 60s and the high 50s throughout the game. So weather doesn't look like it's going to be. Doesn't look like it's going to be a factor. It's not going to be too hot. The kickoff is like 6:30, so that you won't that won't be an issue come game time.
Right.
So we should have a good clear track. I got to see how they cut the grass down there. So I guess they would have the grass.
Grass nut these days.
Yeah, man. They trying to, the 49ers went the highest possible.
Absolutely. Slow them down. Make it a fast track. If it's low, you want that grass high.
So it'll be interesting. So, all right, what I need now is your predictions. Who's going to win the game, why, and who's the MVP? So I'll start with you, Duke.
I'm going Chiefs. 27. 49ers 23.
Wow.
Why? They got, like I said before, they got three guys I think that are big difference makers. Mahomes, who's the best at what he does. We look for weaknesses. I can't find any. With him. Kelsey and Hill. I think they are together. They are good enough to come out with a victory by 3 or 4 points. And I just think it's the big guy's time. I think Andy Reid, it's time for him to finally get it. He didn't been close. He didn't tasted, what it's like. I think this is it. And the Chiefs are different. They're a little bit different on defense, I think, than they have been in the past. So I'll give it to him. I see him getting out of there by probably 4 points or so.
Coach Greg, what's your call?
38.
Woo!
27. Chiefs.
Okay. You going with the Chiefs. MVP. If 38 points, gotta be Mahomes.
It's gotta be the quarterback.
Yeah, QB.
I just can't see him. I just can't see him stopping them consistently. You play coverage all you want to, man. He'll just pick you apart. Their D line doesn't get that pressure. If they're not sending people, and if they start sending people, which I think they need to do, I just don't think they have the ability to cover.
Come on the back end.
Yep. Richard Sherman he's great, but come on, man.
He's great close. He's great close.
Yeah, but you got to deal with speed.
Yep.
And speed is
and they don't have a great secondary. Their
talent
right.
Their
talent is the front seven.
They rely on what's happening up front,
Right. And
it's big, man. Up front is where it's at.
If they can't get to him, it becomes a track meet.
Right.
But I see the Chiefs laying the wood. I think Andy gets one. I'm happy. Glad Doug got his first.
See some physical. I see some hitting going on. I see some tackling. I see actually a great Super Bowl, and I think these are the two best teams that are playing.
Yeah.
So which is great,
My
What you got? What you got?
Now this game is very interesting because the football in me, and Greg knows I'm a character and cruelty type of guy.
Coach O!
When it comes to winning these things. But the gut is just telling me the Chiefs. The Chiefs have faced adversity. They've been down 24 points. They've been down before, and they rallied back. I'm seeing that offense stop by third down drops. I know they're going to try to come up and put pressure. I just think they got the better quarterback that can make plays, and I got the Chiefs 27-23 over the Niners, moving forward. And I got Patrick Mahomes as the MVP. If not, a sleeper MVP is the Honey Badger.
On defensive side of the ball,
maybe
okay.
A turnover, maybe a pick.
Honey Badger's balling. He's balling.
He's balling. So that's my outlook. For the Super Bowl preview, it'll definitely be interesting to see how this game turns out. And I'm looking forward. Like I said, it has all the makings and the trappings of a very good game.
Yes, it does.
Very an excellent game that the public can really need and it'll be really good in this time. I want to jump into NBA real quick. Midway through the season, we talk a little bit about got the Celtics Sixers tonight, 8:30.
Okay.
The Sixers just lost to Atlanta again. Last Thursday. Moving back, with the NBA. Any surprises? I think right now it's going to be interesting because of what's going on with the Kobe thing with the Lakers. How they tried to they lost to Portland last night. They're number one in the West right now, but it's a lot of emotional baggage with them right now.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how much longer you can carry that. That has to weigh on you. You know what I mean? Like you're not practicing, you're probably not sleeping. Moving forward with that. The Eastern Conference, Milwaukee, they're still number one. They're still balling. The Greek Freak is still MVP in my. He's mid-season MVP right now.
I think Milwaukee has never been a question about during the season or mid-season with them. It's like when you start
the playoffs.
Yeah, when
people
get down
just
to that.
focus in on
right.
That's how it's going to go. So it'll be interesting to see how the NBA season works out. Sixers currently in 5th or 6th place, but it's only 2.5 games separating 2 from 6. So there's a lot of basketball left to play, and it's going to be interesting going down the stretch how it all plays out, moving forward. But it's going to be interesting. But we want to see the NFL. A few Dallas hired an assistant coach. Assistant head coach.
Good hire. I got to ask you first.
Doug knows him. I got to get Doug Scott back on the show. He was a senior at Shippensburg when Doug was a freshman. Yeah. So,
all right, Dougie.
Mr. Davis will be assistant head coach. He was a long snapper for 15 years in the league. Worked for Packers player personnel. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out for the boys with assistant head coach. But fellas, it's been tremendous. Another good show.
Great show.
Coach Greg. Now, he was a little off on the college championship game, y'all.
A little bit. One quarter, man.
I don't want y'all to lose faith in Coach Greg. He's a football expert. I know y'all.
I don't say expert.
He was down in that SEC for a second.
Yeah. He's pouring dirt. He was pouring dirt all on top of that SEC.
Here we go. We're going to gang up on him. This is what we're going to do now? Listen. They won. All right. What do you want me to tell you? The kid did what he had to do. He was a lot better against man coverage than I thought he would be. They solved the riddle for one quarter, which was the second quarter when they had Clemson on their heels. They couldn't recover. That's it.
That thing kicked in.
That's it. Yeah. But after that, if you take out that second quarter, that game's even all the way across the board. Yeah. But, it's ebb and flows. LSU did what they had to do. Don't lose faith in
if my aunt was a man, she'd be my uncle.
if was a fifth,
all day.
Only counting horseshoes and
that LSU team might be one of the all-time great teams.
Yeah.
15-0 in the schedule they played. They ran through everybody. But yeah, definitely, we'll be back next week. Duke, you have some guests lining up for us.
Yeah, in a few weeks, Mr. Rob Murray, boxing guru.
Oh, definitely.
So we'll have him on the show.
We got the heavyweight fight.
Got the heavyweight fight. Perfect timing.
Not a rematch. Over quickly.
And Mr. Alvin Williams, Philadelphia guy,
basketball,
NBA.
Played for Toronto.
Toronto. Villanova grad.
Villanova grad.
And Mr. Turkman Mott.
Oh, definitely.
Turkman
Mott.
He went to the mill.
Yeah. So we got a little show coming up. We got to confirm the dates. It'll probably be 2 weeks, but we'll be in there.
Cool. Definitely. Well, everybody, enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the commercials, the food. It's the second top party day in America. Maybe
too bad it's on a Sunday.
They need to take Monday off.
Man.
Do something like that. It should be a national holiday.
It is a national holiday.
The bird flu. Yeah. Definitely. Be careful that too many coronas. You will have the virus.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Definitely. And we out. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Sports Talk Live for the culture. Peace, and we out.
isolation. You should have went like this. Should have dipped that thing.
Yeah, I should have been. I don't know. Now, for one quarter, they.
Oh yeah, it was 5-star.
Yeah, they.
You know, it was lock. I'm locking up, and
Yeah, but after that, like, and you catch them on the heels and figure out what they're doing. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
see when you got those games, man. You got this corner, wherever he's from, he's 5-star. You got this receiver, he's 6'4", wherever he's from, he's 5-star. They on islands.
Yeah, I mean,
The game could change real quick,
you know what?
and that's what it did.
They figured out what the fuck they were doing and said, "Oh, you want to do that?"
We clean the mic soon. We all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.